Quixote by Susan Doenime Characters and backstory by Rumiko Takahashi. Used without permission. Ranma slept. This was not exactly an unusual occurrence. It happened every night, and usually did not stir any interest or comment. Breathe in, breathe out. Turn slightly. Mutter. The reader may be wondering why such a common event is being described. Be patient. Like most martial artists, Ranma was a light sleeper. With the amount of people after his head, he really had to be. So when the object came sailing through the window to land with a clatter on the floor, one of his eyes shot open. A few seconds later, a flare of brilliant light filled the room, and the eye snapped shut. Springing to his feet, trying to blink away the spots dancing in front of his vision, Ranma waited for the attack. Mythos, perhaps. Sasuke. It wasn't really Kuno or Ryuga style. Perhaps some entirely new enemy. His senses reached out to take in the entire room, to perceive every flow of Kai, to prepare for the barrage of thrusts that was about to come. A minute passed. Maybe it was some sort of Kai blast that took time to charge. 5 minutes passed. His brow furrowed. A flash bomb used to blind your opponent was a sound tactic, but only if you followed up on it immediately. His vision had long since returned to normal, and he was now on guard. His foe had thrown away the advantage of surprise for no good reason. After 30 minutes, he gave up and went back to sleep. But with one eye open. Just in case. A job at his sleep that night was an exhausting affair, and to compensate he rose in the late morning. Some joker, he mused, was trying to rattle him. Ranma shrugged. He could deal with it. After breakfast. After pulling on his clothing, he skipped downstairs and into the kitchen, and froze. The room was occupied by Akan, Kaeri, and P-chan, and a sink full of warm, soapy water. Time for P-chan's bath. Could Akan? Kaeri smiled benevolently. Oh my god, she single quoted I'll kill Ryuga and then she'll kill me. Akan. No. His fiancée didn't even turn. What is it, Ranma? I'm just giving P-chan a bath. She began to lower the pig towards the water. No. Warm water's really bad for them. Kaeri spoke for the first time. On the contrary, it's necessary for their good health to be bathed every so often. See? Akan said, a smug tone in her voice. And Kaeri should know, her being a pig breeder. Horrified, Ranma thought. Kaeri wanted to break any possibility of a Ryuga/Akan relationship in the most complete way she could. Akan dunked P-chan into the warm, soapy, warm sink. Ranma closed his eyes, and waited for the carnage. Kaeri, hand me the soap. Huh? He opened his eyes. P-chan was happily splashing about in the sink. In the sink filled with warm water. Dashing over to where the two girls stood, he dipped his finger in the water. Warm. It was warm. And Ryuga was a pig. He stared at his friend's eyes in horror. The eyes stared back. Empty. A pig's eyes. Ranma? Is something wrong? Oh no. Ryuga. Oh, man. Kaeri grabbed his arm. What about Ryuga? He turned to face her. She didn't look upset in the slightest. He didn't change back. He's stuck in his cursed form. What cursed form? The girls asked simultaneously. Ranma closed his eyes. This was going to get him in trouble, but P-chan is Ryuga with a Jizenkaiu curse. The warm water should have changed him back. But it didn't. Something's trapped him like this. I can't turn tail. You mean he? At my bed my bed. Kaeri just looked puzzled. Ranma, that's not true. What do you mean? You've known about the curse too. My bed. I'm going to. Ryuga, Kaeri said calmly, is not P-chan. Why would I be P-chan? Asked Ryuga, who had just strolled in from the dining room. Ranma looked at the sink. P-chan was splashing about happily in the water. He turned back to the door. Ryuga was standing in the door frame, looking bemused. There was a bucket of water in a corner, and Ranma threw it at Ryuga. It hit dead on. Ryuga made an amazing transformation. He went from a dry, bemused Ryuga to a wet, annoyed Ryuga. Ranma, why are you throwing water at me? Ranma, snarled Akan, why are you trying to give me a heart attack with filthy lies about Ryuga and P-chan? Oh number, Ryuga, he said hesitantly, can we talk? I think that would be wise, the lost boy evenly replied. At they went for a walk. There was something odd about Ryuga, thought Ranma. He wasn't trying to kill him. He didn't really even seem all that mad. And there was something else, something he couldn't quite place. Ryuga, how'd you get cured? Cured of what? The curse. Ryuga stared at him. What curse? The one you got at Jizenkaiu, stupid. Ranma, Ryuga slowly said, I've never been to Jizenkaiu. Then it struck him what seemed wrong about Ryuga. Hey, man, when did you paint your umbrella blue? It's always been blue. Ranma, did you hit your head fighting Ukaiu or something? Fighting. The flash of light, with no attack following. I think I'd better go see Cologne. Ryuga looked puzzled. Why do you want to talk to him? Oh boy. At Ranma recognized the Amazon matriarch the second he saw her. Or, rather, the second he saw _him_. Cologne was male. Apprentice. What can I do for you? Something's wrong, he said flatly. My memories don't match reality. You should be female, and Ryuga should have a Jizenkaiu curse. The withered old man listened as Ranma told about the burst of light, the events in the kitchen, and his conversation with Ryuga. Finally he spoke. I think I know what has happened, but I will need to make sure. If you will stand still for a moment. Ranma did, and Cologne rummaged around for a selection of scrolls. After settling on one, he began to ink in an odd, harsh language. The room grew dark, and the odd aura flared around Ranma's body. Despite an urge to scream and run, he held still. Cologne finally fell silent, and the glow surrounding Ranma faded. The old man slowly nodded. As I thought. You are not from this reality. Huh? Someone has exchanged you with the Ryo Saotome of this universe. You are not where you belong. His head spun. Of course, that explained everything. How do I get back? Cologne frowned. It will not be easy. There are tales of a magical locket that let one move from one world to another, said to be lost somewhere in China. If you could find that, somewhere in China. Do you have any idea how big China is? The old man stroked his beard. True, true. It may indeed take a while. I don't even speak the language very well. Your best friend does. Ranma laughed. Ryuga? He doesn't. No. I mean Shampoo. I'd hardly call her my best friend. She wants to marry me. Cologne laughed. Really? How odd. The Shampoo of this world just sees you as a close friend. Although Yukayu did once try to fix you two up so that you'd stop bothering Akan. Ranma frowned. Yukayu's a guy in this world. No, a lesbian. So is Akan. They've been going steady for months, although we never were able to get you to give up on her. Oh my g that single quote s you single quote got to get me back to my world. Shampoo entered from the back room. Oh, meow Ranma. You spar with Shampoo? Great-granddaughter, Ranma needs your help. It took half an hour to persuade Shampoo to go with him. After some last-minute advice from Cologne, the two headed out the door. If it takes a million years, Ranma thought grimly, I'm going to find my way home. Book and Akan. He shuddered. Cologne watched the pair head off in the direction of the docks, smiled, and put on a kettle. After a minute, Ryuga walked in. Is he gone? Yes. Cologne lifted the kettle and poured it over himself, rapidly shifting into female form. You did well, boy. I was afraid you'd foul up. Ryuga rubbed his head. I had trouble convincing Kaeri to go along with it, but she gave in. Even helped me find a piglet the same color and size as P-chan. Got any more of that instant Nunachon, by the way? Cologne handed him a box. Here you go. Except for the packet you used, and the packet I used, it should be full. Good. Ryuga frowned for a second. What do I tell Akan? The truth. Tell her that Ranma left for China with Shampoo, and never wants to see her again. She'll be upset, and you'll be there to comfort her. And Ranma? He'll spend years searching China for a magical reality-traveling locket that doesn't exist, while the delayed action love spell I cast on him starts taking effect. He'll marry Shampoo within 2 years. Ryuga grinned happily. And Akan will be mine. If you work hard at it. Cologne frowned. Something she had said was nagging at her, but she didn't know what. Oh well. It couldn't have been very important. There are an awful lot of reality travel fanfics, with Ranma waking up in another world for no good reason. In all of them, It's odd how quickly he accepts the fact that he really has been transported to an alternate dimension. Or maybe not so odd, considering the weirdness of his life. Another common theme is how his love for Akan eventually carries him through the plots and dangers tossed at him. In the end, it does seem to be the reason for his coming out on top. A cunning enemy would turn this strength into a weakness. Special thanks to Kevin Eve, Chris Wilmore, and RPM. Mythical reality traveling locket indeed. Circumflex accent _ Susan Doenime ==